Okay. Okay. So I have Ashley here. Um, I'm Dan Gordon, and we're talking about the class, the Principalship, and it is July, what is it, July 8th, 2020. And Ashley has agreed to be my guinea pig as we record this conversation. And then what I will do, I dump the video up into YouTube and then put the link back in the class. And so really, I was glad that somebody joins it. So I'm not just going to sit here and talk to myself. So, you were saying, and really what I want to talk about this class, when we ask people to do things in the summertime, it's always interesting anyway. In a perfect world, if you were taking this class and it was February, you could just walk down the hall and have a conversation with your principal, or reach out to all the elementary principals. They're at their desks, and it's really easy to do. And so we are aware of that. And then when this class is in the middle of the summer like this, because I've taught this class in the middle of summer before, it becomes more of a challenge to just have access to things and get into buildings and do a safety audit, walk in, and the fresh wax on the floors, and we know it just gets weird. It add COVID on top of all that, and the lockdowns, and you can't go in and out of buildings, and all of that, and we know that it's a mess. So the thing I'll tell you, which applies to everybody in the course, is that just keep talking to us. We know that it's a difficult time. We know that principals, school administrators, this time of year is about the only time when they can really get away, and some of them want to go, canoe up in the boundary waters and do not want to be reached, and I get that. Principals, I was a principal for 19 years, and I know that I had to have a real obvious break between one school year and the other. There were times when I was just a little bit worried when things were going on in the middle of the summer. I was thinking, man, I got to get away, because if I don't feel like I've been away, then I'll start, back in August a little bit flat, and you can't do that. It takes way too much of a high energy to be a good principal. And so we're aware that they're hard to reach sometimes. So in any of these assignments, and especially now with the pandemic and all of this, if you or people are having a hard time reaching somebody, or you can't get into school to fulfill an assignment or something like that, then just talk to us. That is the main thing we need you to do, and we will cut you a lot of slack as long as you're talking to us. Same concept. If I was your principal, your lead principal, and I'd given you a task, and you're having problems getting it done, but I didn't know you're having problems getting it done, then I'd be rather unhappy when the due date would pass. So, but with my teachers, I tried to cut them a lot of slack. If I knew they're working on stuff, I'd say, sure, get it to me when you can, and just keep talking back and forth, and how can I help you with it? Pretty significant idea that, so just keep talking to us on that. Did you notice in there that in module 8, it talks about the capstone, the performance assessment? Have you looked that far ahead in the course site?
I looked that far ahead, but I haven't looked that great into the detail of everything.
Okay. So. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, because I wanted to talk about that just a little bit. Let me do a share screen, because there's share screen right in front of me. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, can you see my Canvas site?
Yes, I can.
This is called the blueprint site. This is how I do it. I have a site that I update, and when I sync it, it feeds out to the other site, so I don't have to do it all, multiple times and make multiple mistakes. So a couple things, and right now, you'll notice that these are the modules that we're in right now: the get started, the welcome administration, uh, module 1, the Todd Whitaker information. Um, then there's module 2, the safe, orderly environment. Now, this is the safety drills and the safety audit, where we encourage everyone that if you're a high school person, try to do this in elementary person, try to do it in high school, so that you build up practicum hours in your opposite area to help you work towards your K-12 certification. Middle school, I think it is that if you're more of a secondary feel to what you're doing in middle school, then work towards the elementary. I think that's how most people would probably do that. But this is an example of where, because in a perfect world, you're walking through a school with a principal or a lead custodian or maybe a director of maintenance and grounds and things like that. And, you're able to walk through a building and with a checklist and audit, and you're able to look at it. Well, you may not be able to get in a building. And we are aware of that. So that whole assignment might be completely done with you and a principal through their memory, just questions back and forth. And that's just going to be what it's going to be. And we're perfectly fine with that. So going a little bit further, the master schedule, that module is open. Now we're getting down in here. Module 4 is open. Module 5, I'll probably open it probably this weekend. I kind of like to get a course going well before I have everything open, but I know, especially this time of year, students want to see all the things that are coming their way. And so I open it about 3 big openings is how I tend to do that. Improvement plan. Now, what I'm going to do, well, I need to work on that. I have another thought. I want to work on that, because a concept is that if I have all the assignments open at once and somebody jumps down there and submits an assignment, then it locks down anything. I can't change it. It locks it all down. And so as a teacher, I like having a little bit of latitude to shift left and right a little bit as the course is flowing. Module 5, Module 6, Module 7, there's the final due dates of August 14th. Now we get down here, and Module 7 is talking about finances. We'll get there. This is the MPEA Performance Assessment Thread of Discussion. And so in order to obtain initial principal certification in the state of Missouri, along with the content assessment, you have to do this performance assessment. And so there are 4 steps there. And so you will have a capstone course, and Dr. Rich is still building that at the moment. Well, rephrase it. We are modifying another course to fulfill the capstone course for people in the EDS program. Just minor modifications of another course that I teach also. There's a capstone course for people working on their master's level principal certification that we're putting a spin on it for people in your situation. But the assessment is the same. The Missouri MPEA stands for Missouri Professors of Educational Administration. DESE has given our professional organization the mandate, mechanics, the permission to create, write, and facilitate the performance assessment for people that are following us in the field. It's a really pretty neat idea that they're giving us that charge. And Dr. Keeney works at the university with me. He's the one that he's a big officer with MPEA, and so really, the idea is that you come up with a instructional issue that you work with a team of teachers. Well, or phrase it this way: you work with a team of teachers to identify and work on an instructional issue in your school.
Okay.
And hopefully it's something that is beneficial, worthwhile, meaningful, relevant. And so, yes, you will have a capstone course, a final course, but there's no way you can do this type of thing in 6 or 7 weeks. It's designed to be over the course of months. And so, which is why I'm making everybody in this course at least take a swipe at the first step, where basically, step one, you're identifying the issue. Okay. And so then, there's step, and so I have the information here. There's the full performance assessment link. And so, really you are asked to just do a draft of the step one prompt one, which will bluntly force everybody to take a good stab at this, because it is not something everybody wants to wait on. And this is a case where getting off to a good start is extremely important. So yeah, I'm just cut and paste it, read other people's step one, prompt one, feedback back and forth. It's not rocket science, because the prompt, the rubric is there.
Mhm.
And so I'll just encourage everybody to look at that, and you'll thank me, because as you go into other courses, you will see that there might be pieces in other courses that will help you work on this project. This is a long-term unit project. Okay.
Mhm.
So, questions about that, Ashley?
Not currently right now, no.
Okay. Now, I tell people all the time with this performance assessment, make it, work towards the rubrics, look, and the rubrics are in that blue link there. All the rubrics are there, and really, there's no more information to it than what's right there in that blue in the blue link, and it should. I hope it's not a dead link, because I've tested it, and yep, it's downloading. And so the all the information you need is right there, and there are places it says, do it in approximately one page. You don't get extra bonus points for writing 4 or 5 pages. Doesn't work that way. Conciseness, brevity, professional language, well written, to the point, and yeah, that's rather straightforward that way. But it has to be an instructional issue. Now, I tell people, sometimes people want to do something dealing with some PBIS concepts or some building-wide attitude concepts. And I say, well, you can do that, but because we know that student behavior has a link to student learning and academics. Just make sure you're articulating that link. If you want to talk about using a tiered level of interventions for student behavior, make sure you talk about the link between off-task behavior and student learning, or students being sent out of the classroom and student learning, or students being sent to a buddy room and student learning, that kind of stuff. Just have to keep making that link back and forth. The rubrics of the assessment are written in past tense. Explain how you worked with the team. Explain how you created the goals. Explain, reflect on what you did through this process. So it's written and intended that you are actually doing a real project. It has flavors of action research to it, but there's data in it, but it's a little broader than action research. It's a team project, which can be action research too. I know that, but it's a little more, in my mind, horizontal, a little broader. Okay. So, all right. I'm glad you're my guinea pig that I can make this video.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you teach at your school?
I teach middle school math.
Okay.
Yeah.
I worked in middle schools for 7 years of my career. I loved middle schools.
That's fun.
I one of those weird people that like 7th graders.
Yep.
Just
7th grade is the main grade I teach.
Yeah. Just feed off their energy.
Mm-hmm.
So anything I can help you with? Any questions? Basically, this Zoom meeting was intended as a way just to open up, and I call it office hours. But it also gives me a chance to um, um, record and communicate to everybody all at once. So okay,
Okay, well, thank you so much.
thank you. Let me stop recording. Okay, thank you.